Hi, I'm Alexa. This video will discuss the various aesthetics that we see on social media and why these can be harmful. While the word aesthetic originally meant a branch of philosophy discussing topics such as beauty and art and what they are and questions about them, this word has evolved into something new on social media. According to Vogue article, Do I Have an Aesthetic? Over time, aesthetic has evolved from an academic word and something used by artists and amateurs to something to categorize our own identities by. It can mean both personal style and a vague stand-in for beauty. When we spend a lot of time on social media, we may start categorizing the things we do, clothing we wear, our belongings, and the media we consume into aesthetics. For example, chewing bubblegum, writing with a pink pen, and wearing a Juicy Couture tracksuit might make you feel straight out of the 2000s, or at least today's media's interpretation of it. And studying is easier when you're reading in a dimly lit library with a cup of coffee and wearing Doc Martens, perfectly encompassing dark academia. To achieve the coquette aesthetic, one might desire lacy dresses, Dior perfume, pink heart sheets, and every coquette girl's drink of choice, Diet Coke. But can these aesthetics, in the form of quickly moving trends, become harmful if they promote overconsumption? Overconsumption that leads to pollution and demand for cheap items to be produced immediately without regard for where they come from. This dress by House of Sunny is a little over $100. The brand makes authentic and thoughtful designs and really focuses on ethical and sustainable products. Several sources which evaluate the sustainability of brands give it good ratings. One writes about their biannual collections in contrast to fashion brands, saying their design team works at a much slower pace, focusing on sustainable fabrics and manufacturing methods. However, after being popularized by Kendall Jenner, several cheaper dupes of the dress on sites including Amazon and Shein went viral. Shein is notorious for its large number of clothing designs, stolen designs, and the speed at which it produces them, and its mistreatment of employees. Any cheaper dupe is likely not made with the same care as the original. It's a good example of how the fast fashion industry works, creating lesser quality products which are thrown away quicker and thus create more waste, stealing intellectual property and exploiting workers. But again, as shown in this article, many will disregard these unethical products in favor of achieving the aesthetics of models such as Kendall Jenner and other people they see on social media. Besides promoting overconsumption, these trends involve identifying yourself with these aesthetics and therefore the consumables associated with them. Aesthetic trends promote an internal romanticization of our lives so that everything we do, even our struggles, need to fit into a certain box, which is harmful in numerous ways. Rain Fisher Kwan writes about feeling like she needs to make her mental illness look like the romanticized pain of women in movies. She explains it's easy as a woman to compactify illness into a consumable package. Selling your pain is easier than living with it. She describes the experience of scrolling through social media and seeing these aesthetics. One girl on your TikTok feed might be self-described Joan Didion, Eve Babbitt's, Marlboro Red, Straight Cut Levi's, Fleabag Girl. This means she has depression. Another will call herself a baby doll dress, Sylvia Plath, Red Scare Miu Miu, Lana Del Rey Girl, meaning she has an eating disorder. Or a green juice claw clip, Emma Chamberlain, Yoga Mat Podcast Girl, different eating disorder. The aesthetics of consumption have in turn become a conduit to make the self more easily consumable. Your existence as a type of girl has almost nothing to do with whether you actually read Joan Didion or wear Miu Miu, and everything to do with whether you want to be seen as the type of person who would. These things lose their literal meaning in this context and become a part of an aesthetic that we want to present to the rest of the world rather than something we really are. Rain's ending quote summarizes it well. We consume so much now that perhaps we don't know what it means to exist as something unsellable.